Total human potential fully realized is nothing less than a perfect expression of universal intelligence. You're just an exact expression of what you're meant to be. The way that I see business is the vehicle for that expression. That to me is the higher level game of business and entrepreneurship. It's expressing something that's uniquely yours and uniquely you, and bringing that out of your sort of internal world, out of your mind and your thoughts and your ideas, and actually creating something in reality that didn't exist before and wouldn't exist had you not created it. It's like it's turning nothing into something. And so entrepreneurship to me, at the way that I break it down, is in 3 stages. Stage 1 is something like what we called survival, or you could call it the success stage. It's just like, let me fulfill my survival needs. That's not a bad thing. It just means, making money, scaling a business, like getting it off the ground so you can provide for yourself. Past that point, though, I found myself getting really bored. I was just like, oh, more money just to have more money. To have more money is not really a worthwhile goal. Like, that didn't appeal to me very much. And I just got like really, really disinterested in that really fast. A lot of people don't, I find, and it's just like, well, this is what business is. So you just scale to scale and you make more money to make more money. And it's just a game, and the money is numbers on a scoreboard, and you just want the highest score at the end of the game. And I'm just like, really? That's the game? Like, that's not a very sophisticated game. Like, that's more like the game of checkers. It's just like 1 + 1 = 2, and more followers, more likes, more money, more attention, more scale. Again, survival not only on the financial level, but also on the egoic level. Getting what you want while avoiding what you don't want is the line that we used in that talk. The next level of that, to me, is what we called self, which is you're actively exploring, discovering, and developing yourself, and in turn reflecting that sort of evolution towards self-mastery within the business. And so your business is becoming this like more authentic expression of what you really are. And at this stage, most of us don't know what the fuck we are. That's why it's self-exploration. We're discovering it. And for me, that was the sort of like 2013 to 2020 phase, roughly. That's where I took off and traveled all over the world. And I was doing retreats and learning with plant medicines and apprenticing and doing all these things that were like totally seemingly disconnected from the business. Having life experiences, even just like partying and hooking up with chicks, just like finding myself, right? They seem to be disconnected from the business. But now that I've come to this place where it's all integrated, all of that life experience has sort of coalesced into this like more true expression of my teaching and of my own creativity. So stage 2 leads to stage 3, which we could call it spirit, or it's something like a greater mission in the world. Like, what you stand for because you learned that at stage 2. In stage 3, you actually like fucking execute that mission. And it's like, this is what I believe. This is what I know. I bled for this wisdom. And this is what I think should exist in the world. This is what I would like to see in reality. And it turns into this way of not only helping people, but of shaping society and shaping the reality of humanity at large. And so through those 3 stages, you can see at stage 1, it's all about like me, let me get money, let me get status, let me get scale, build a business, play the game, beat everybody else playing the game. That's like, I don't know, that's almost all of the businesses that I see out there. It's very, very rare to see an authentic stage 2 happening, where it's like an honest creative expression. They're finding their way, they're developing mastery. And then at stage 3, it's somebody that has even gone beyond that. Of course, the like road to mastery never ends, but they have a degree of mastery of themselves and of their value system and their skills at creation. So now they can bring that and like create something the world has never seen before, hopefully that will benefit the world. So that to me is what I've called applied spirituality. That's a deeply spiritual process because it means coming into alignment with what you really are. And to do that, you have to discover what you really are. And what you really are at the most fundamental level is an expression of universal intelligence or God or nature or whatever you want to call it. That supreme intelligence expressing itself uniquely through you is what you are. And so becoming that and expressing it is the higher mission of entrepreneurship as I see it. And that doesn't necessarily mean just like teaching what you know, which is sort of my trip, but it could be something like building a physical product or building fucking SpaceX and colonizing Mars. Like, who knows? It could be anything. And there's a whole bunch more innovation coming in entrepreneurship, as everybody can tell, right? That's very clear. Innovation's happening faster than ever, and it's increasing seemingly exponentially with technology and AI and so on. And so there's like no telling what that's going to look like. And we can talk about AI and technology and stuff like that later on. But the way that I see it is as a tool for unlocking that creative potential that's inside of us. It's not like, as far as I can tell right now, it might destroy humanity and, so be it. But as far as I can tell right now, as it stands, AI and technological innovation is allowing more unique creativity to come through. It's also allowing a lot of copycat creativity, but nobody pays attention to that anyway. And so the barrier for authenticity and genuine authenticity and skill and mastery is higher than ever. It's like, we want to see the real shit, not this computer generated stuff. And people are becoming keen to like their eye for quality and their eye for authenticity and for the humanness and that like unique personality that higher level entrepreneurs and creators bring to their work. People's eye for that is becoming more keen. So this is just to say, like, I see human development, spirituality, and creative entrepreneurship as one thing when they're treated that way. So creative entrepreneurship is a path of internal development and of self-mastery if it's treated that way, if that's made the goal. It's not the goal for many. It's the goal for me and has been since, I would say, like 2012, probably, since I like made enough money to be disillusioned by the goal of making money. It quickly shifted on to, okay, what's the like next level? And again, that's self-exploration, self-understanding and self-mastery expressed through a creative outlet, which is a business. That's one level of the game is, okay, let me play the game to beat the game so I don't need to play the game anymore. That game being earning money. And hopefully you set yourself up for long enough that you don't need to play that game anymore. You're set. The game that I've been playing is, what we referred to as the higher game just now. It's where the path of making money and your path of development and development into your like full creative capacity as a human being, not just as an entrepreneur, are the same thing. So there's no need to like beat the game because the game is going to be played forever. You're not trying to beat the game at all because it's infinite. The game is you. And for as long as you're going to be developing yourself and mastering yourself, that's going to be expressed through this creative outlet of business. And so there's really no way that you can lose that game because you're the only one playing it. Does that make sense? It's a different paradigm. It's a different paradigm. And there was an entrepreneur I heard recently who was like, people talk about their life purpose and stuff like that. But when I think about all the stuff that I really like to do, it's like, oh, I want to go jet ski with my friends and play golf and all of these like pleasure activities, basically. I'm like, motherfucker, that's not a purpose. Those are hobbies. That's different, unless you're inventing this revolutionary new jet ski or something like, just like doing stuff for pleasure is not the thing. And his point was that I'm going to make as much money as I can so that I can exit and then spend all my time golfing and playing with jet skis and hanging out with my friends. And that may or may not be interesting for a while for that person, but that's totally separate from something like a life purpose. A life purpose is that like perfect expression of universal intelligence channeled through the human being into the world to create something in reality. That's what a purpose is. It's not like having time to dink around on the lake.